Hey guys, so today I am going to do a flip through of my bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling for almost a year now, and I have been spending a great deal of time with it, and I've gotten a lot of requests to do a flip through so that people can see the system and how it works for me and how I use it as a blogger in particular. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time getting to really find a system that worked for me before I shared it with you guys. So today is the day. All right, first up, I use the Leuchtturm 1917 in Berry, and this is the dot grid notebook. I like it very much. And we're going to get right into it. This is my index. The one thing that I like about the Leuchtturm is that it comes with the index already set up for you. And it is a 3-page index. So you have a lot of room to put all of your spreads and things that you want to specifically be able to go back and reference. I am almost at the end of this journal. I say I maybe have 50 pages left or so, and I have a full page of index remaining, so that is very exciting for me. And I am a film school graduate, so I use film washi tape, and I love things that sparkle, so I also use glitter washi tape. Okay, it was early, don't judge me. All right, so this was my key. And I want to say again that this was in the phase where I was trying to be a little more artistic with the bullet journal. And so I was drawing things and trying to do whatever. I don't draw, so, here's that. These bullets continue for the most part. All of them I don't use, but if you want more information on how to use the bullet journal system that writer Carol set up, you can go to bulletjournal.com and it will show you all the stuff. So the next thing up is what I call a future file. Now in bullet journaling parlance, this is called a future log. I don't like the word log, so I use future file, and also I am a big fan of alliteration, so there you have it. Now the thing that I will say about the future file / log is that it's suggested that you do a 12-month log, so you can add things in that you don't already have pages for in the journal. But what I found is that I should have done an 18-month future file, because right now we're in the month of July and I no longer have any future to refer to. So when I go to set up my next bullet journal, I will definitely do an 18-month future file. So this is my first attempt at a brain dump, and again I was doing those fancy labels with colors and things like that, and I kind of put stuff in here and never really came back to it. The brain dump is not something that I have found very useful for me, so I don't use it. This was my first attempt at a monthly spread. Again, don't judge me, this is very early in the game. I hadn't figured out pens or colors or layout. Now this is my first attempt at a weekly spread. Again, I was still in this whole colorful thing and taking cues from other bullet journalers doing the weather with illustrations and so forth, and so I'm just trying to figure out my own style. So we kept going with that, sort of not doing any more than what I needed at the time. So I have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here, and you'll notice there is no Thursday or Friday, and we just jump right to the weekend. And again, I was still doing the weather and that sort of stuff. Then I did a style guide for my blog. A style guide is basically so that you can remember what all the formats are for the things that you need for your blog, and then there were a couple little writing tips. This has really ended up being a scratch page because I never really did anything with it, but this I did refer to quite a bit. I have since changed this whole theme, so this style guide is out the window. This is a page that is all my codes and links and passwords and things of that nature. And then this was sort of a running blogging to-do list. And as you'll see, I started here and then started filling all the way in, and then I had to come back up and refill in. And I did not leave another page for this. I was just doing one page at a time, as is the custom in bullet journaling. Going forward, if I ever do another blogging to-do page, I will probably make sure that it is a full-on spread, so at least I'll have 2 pages together and I don't have to thread. And if you can see down here, you'll see that I have a slash page 178, which then takes me to my next blogging to-do page. And I'll talk about threading in a different video. So this is more blogging stuff, and if I go back to something, I will put a little sticky note in as to try and remember stuff, so not everything gets written in the book. I'll keep going here. This is a brands to pitch, what the process is. So I set this all up and I thought it was a great spread, but I never used it. And then this was a quote page that that someone who means very much to me said to me, which was kind of a life-changing thing, and I wanted to acknowledge that quote, and I left it on its own. And I was originally thinking that I wanted to do some decoration on this, but the more that I thought about it, I felt like the words stood on their own, and therefore they deserved to be there without decoration. This was my first attempt at a habit tracker, and this is specifically for exercise and eating, bedtime, sleep, what my mood and my energy is. Maybe I'm going to flip this around so you can see it better here. So as you can see, this started on August 19th, which is the middle of the month, and I started it there because that's where we were. And true to bullet journal fashion, start where you are. I did not repeat this thread because it seemed like a lot, and I didn't really want to use a whole spread to do a habit tracker. And then I have more blogging things. So I did a headline hacks that was 2 pages, but I left the space for 2 pages, but I ended up coming back and putting this evergreen posts list together after the fact because it was related to blogging. And so here's another weekly spread, and again, this is where I started to get closer to the weekly spread that I eventually end up using the most. So this is a dedicated 2-page spread. We're still using these fanciful, colorful banners at the top, and I picked a previous journal that I had from Sugar Paper for the year before. They had a nice format that I really liked. So I used the top 3 things that I need to get done, and then all my to-do things, whoever it is that I needed to contact, and what's on the horizon. And then I left a little space for review that I could come back and see how the week went. And then each day was laid out on the side, and that would either have scheduled things in if I had something that I specifically needed to do at a particular time, but it usually ended up being a journal for what actually happened that day. This is washi taped together because I went to do the September spread and I didn't like it, so chucked it and started over again. So this time I'm experimenting with a more involved monthly spread. So I did my month calendar up here, and then I tried to put my tracker on the bottom so as not to take up so much space in the journal tracking things with the next month's calendar, and then what the list of things was that I needed to do, or the goals that I had to focus on for the month of September. And then I did a medical minute, which had all of the things that I needed to do for appointments for doctors and things of that nature. And then we have more weekly spreads, and as you can see, we started to evolve into a little more detail and something that was a little more cohesive. And I was doing quotes at the top to remind me of things that I wanted, or ways that I wanted to live. And then I found a time tracker example, I think Boho Berry did, and so I started with the time tracker about a month after I got the bullet journal. And then I continued to use the format and added a whole section for Horizon, and then I added a section for things that I needed to publish. So what I started to do was break out what needed to happen for work specifically, and then what else ever needed to happen in my life to be able to keep everything in line. And then also down here is the key for what the colors mean in the daytime time tracker. This is a spread that I use all the time. It's my post checklist, everything that goes into creating a post for my blog. And then this is everything that happens from marketing a post after it's done. Because sometimes I just forget to do stuff. Like I'll be like, oh, we didn't make it to Google Plus this time. Well, now there's no excuse because it's all written out for me. And this I use all the time. This is my YouTube channel reboot spread. And as you can see, it's a little unfinished, as is my YouTube reboot. It's a work in progress. Again, and then I have little sticky notes for things that come to me or things that I learn in the process. This was a little haphazard. I was watching a marathon of Super Soul Sunday, and some of the things that came to me that were really resonant with me, I wanted to write down, and I put them here. And then this was a story idea, random, and I just put it in. Now we are back to another weekly spread, and you can see that I've really sort of fallen into this pattern, and it's working pretty well for me. Filling in the time tracker so I can get an idea of what's happening in my day-to-day, where I'm spending time, where I'm losing time. And then more spreads. So I found the thing that was really going to work for me. This is a 17 before 2017, which was what a lot of people were doing at the end of last year. 17 things that you wanted to finish before the new year rolled around. And so I wrote the list, and some of that stuff remains undone. I keep referring to the list because I still want to get these things done. They just didn't manage to make the deadline. More weekly spreads, and this was the most decorated, if you will. A different color glitter, washi. We love glitter. And so this time I changed the format from the September monthly spread, where the calendar had more room on the page, and then I put my goals and whatever was on deck below, so that things were not running down the side. If you remember, the September one was running down the side, and then I had the tracker at the bottom. This was much better. And then I started doing a gratitude for each month, and you'll notice an activity tracker here. I gave it one more try with the activity tracker, and you'll see that we stopped after 9 days, so the whole rest of the month nothing happened. More weeklies. I flipped it around. Instead of having my to-dos on this side, normally the days are on this side, so I switched it up to see which one was going to work better for me. I did not stay with this way. I went back to the other way, which you'll see as we move forward. This really was notes that I was taking on a particular blog project that I was working on that actually got abandoned, and so did the page. It's funny how your bullet journal is really reflective of your life. And now we are into our second weekly spread for October, and I'm still working with the days on the right because I wanted to give it a fair shot to see if I was going to like it. And this was a couple of weeks where some things happened in my life that kind of threw me off track for my day-to-day. So there were no day-to-day breakouts because there was just too much going on, and sometimes your life just gets in the way of your journal. And then we move on to November, which is very spare, as you can see, because it turned out that November turned into a travel month for me. So I didn't get a chance to fill in all the stuff that I normally would have. You'll see the goals is completely empty, waiting on things that are on deck. Completely empty, but there are some things in. But you'll notice there is a travel day here. So that's part of why November is very spare. But one of the things that I started doing specifically in November was there's a monthly summary that happens at the top of each month, and that consists of the monthly spread, a monthly gratitude page, and a monthly review page, so that I can go back once we've completed the month and I can take a look and see what happened, how I felt about it, anything that I was really excited about, or anything that was particularly poignant for me will record everything. And so then for November, we're into our weeklies. We're still doing the days on this side, but you'll see that it's not filled in at all because November was an unusual month for me. Some things were written down, very few things actually got recorded, but that's the beauty of the bullet journal. And so you'll notice that we went from November 7th to the 13th, and then after such, no more, and we moved right into December. December was also an unusual month for me because I was traveling, so not a lot of stuff got filled in. And as we approach the holidays, then I think all bets are kind of off for, for planning and things like that. But I was very happy with the monthly overview, with the gratitude and the review right away. And then I picked up December 8th, again, which is a Thursday, right in the middle of the week, and started working on everything that I needed to do as I tried to get back to a regular routine of working and also getting back on track. This was the week before Christmas. Many things were happening in my life, and therefore not a lot of stuff got recorded in my bullet journals. You'll see it's very blank. I didn't do anything. So we turned the page and we moved to after Christmas, and we're back on a more regular schedule. We're sort of back to our regular programming, and you'll notice that I flipped and put the days back on this side with the to-dos on this side, and we continue this pattern going forward, and we never go back because this is what this is what really works for me, so we keep doing this. January, we start a new year. Hopefully we have new energy. Again, it continues. We've gone back to goals and what I'm waiting on and things that are on deck. Again, the gratitude and review. And then this is more YouTube planning, more weeklies. So as we start a new year, we continue with the weekly spreads with the time tracker, and you'll notice we migrate lots of things, some things that half done, a few things got done, so we're getting moving into the year. And so then this is a lot of extra weeklies and things like that. We don't need to bother with that. And then as we move forward, I did 2017 goals, but this didn't happen until February of 2017, which is fine. Nobody says that you have to plan out your year right on January 1st, and I never do, actually, because January to me is kind of a month of stepping away from work, recovering from the holidays. I am an introvert, and so all of that holiday activity and being with people is taxing to my soul, so I need January to recover and get back to myself. And so I didn't do any of my 2017 goal planning until February. I have here Instagram quote ideas, Pinterest strategy notes. Again, we're back to work. The spreads continue. February came in, remains the same. And so the weeklies continue. And as you see, I use colors that are reflective of the month. So now we are in February, so we have pinks and reds as the colors of love because Valentine's Day is that month, and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't know why I do it, but there it is. And then we move into March, and then you'll notice that the color scheme changes to a lovely bright green because spring is coming. Again, we continue with the gratitude and review, and we're into the weekly. So this is basically my setup. It is the thing that I am the most comfortable with. This is a system that works for me. There may be a few tweaks as we move along, but in general, this is the bulk of my bullet journaling. So essentially, the book continues just like this. We move on. I change colors as the months go. I have a really good time experimenting with my colorways for the month. That is one of my favorite parts of bullet journaling. You'll notice that everything has gotten really simpler. I don't really put any weather things in anymore. That was just something that I was doing because I saw other people doing it, and I thought, oh, that's really cute, but listen, it takes a lot of time to draw those clouds and things, and really we don't need it. I did introduce this master music spread, which is all the songs that I want to work on, and anything that I really like and want to come back to ends up having a glitter washi tape border, and I haven't had a chance to work on any of these songs, so that the workshop is all set up and it's all pretty. And I started using stickers that I got from Erin Condren, but there's nothing in here yet because I haven't started on this project yet. This is a July/August project. And we continue with our weeks. This is a summertime content planning for my blog, and this is just a little one-page spread that has new ideas for my next bullet journal, because this is page 176 and the Leuchtturm only has 250 pages, so we're getting to the end. So I needed to start thinking about what new things I wanted to try in my next bullet journal. Here's my blogging to-do list that I talked about earlier, and you'll see that it's threaded here. This is page 178, which I had mentioned to you before, and now I can see that the first blogging to-do is written on page 17. If you remember, I also had some headlines, and that's also threaded. That is on page 28, and right now we're on 179. So if you were to flip back to page 28, you would see that there's a 179 there. So that's what's called threading, which is really very helpful for me. More weeklies, and this brings us current to the month of July, which is my birthday month. Happy birthday on July 1. That's me. So this is where we are currently. One of the great things about the Leuchtturm is that it comes with 2 of these color coordinated bookmarks. So I always leave one in the month that I'm working on, and then the other one is for the current week that I am living in. And those keep me from having to flip around all over the place. So I don't have anything listed in my gratitude or review for July because we just got in the month and we don't fill that in until later. And so that's as far as we have gotten to July 10th through the 16th, and we only have a few more pages left. You'll notice in the back here I do some pen tests back here. The Staedtler fine liners, the Erin Condren liners, just to see what kind of ghosting and bleed through or any such thing that we have. And you'll see there's a little bit of ghosting here, but I am not someone who can't deal with any ghosting, so I let it ride. I like the Staedtler fine liners, and I also like the Erin Condren pens, but the Staedtlers I like better. I have my little pen here and my pen loop, and oh, by the way, this is a cover from Galen Leather that I did a whole blog post about, and I'm going to post the link right up there for you so you can check that out. And that is it for my bullet journal flip through. I hope this was helpful for you. I know a lot of people do really elaborate journals, and some people are very bare bones and very true to the minimalism of what bullet journaling is, and I think that I am somewhere in the middle. I am anxious about transitioning to another journal, so when I do that, I will come back and do another video for you guys so you can see what it's like to transfer from your very first bullet journal into the second one after your pages run out. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.